Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. This is Bruce Konechny. Welcome to my podcast, One Man's Voice. Today is May 25th, 2019. And I want to talk to you a little bit about capitalism versus socialism. Now, under capitalism, there's private ownership of business. I have my own business. I do books and I do taxes. And my goal is to achieve a certain level of income and be happy with what I do. I'm not trying to create multiple offices. I'm happy being my own boss, doing a few tax returns and a couple of books for businesses. And there's high competition out there for that. There really is. But I'm a competitive individual, so I know how to entice individuals to come in to my services. One is my costs are much lower. And I've had CPAs attack me because of my fees. And they say, how can you trust somebody who only charges that? Well, because I'm comfortable in what I've done, because I've been competitive all my life, because I've set individual goals and attained those goals, I have a modicum of individual wealth. I'm not rich, but I am comfortable. And so I don't have to charge a lot of money to do books or to do taxes, and I don't. And that's what makes me successful today. Under socialism, I would not have this business because all business is government ownership. Everything is going to be owned by the government. All of the profits from those businesses will go into the federal government to get the rich Democrats or the rich Republicans, whoever is the party in charge at the time, richer. And we will fall, and we have to go with the Democrats, ladies and gentlemen, because I don't believe Republicans believe in this. Because the majority of the Republicans are Christians, and they understand that you don't want a one-world government, because a one-world government leads to the Antichrist, who will demoralize this world and destroy this world. And we don't want that, so we fight against it. So government ownership means government is in control of this whole country. And in an article on the website, you can look it up, UN Agenda 2030, the UN plans to run this world as a socialist nation. Okay? A socialist world, excuse me. That's why the push on the part of the Democrats is to make us a socialist nation so we can be incorporated into the UN world control. But if you go back and study, ladies and gentlemen, you'll find out that because of the capitalist system, other countries have benefited far better than they have under the socialist system. And I have to say that because when you look at what capitalism is all about, capitalism, according to AOC, isn't something new. And it is. It's only about 200 years old. But socialism, totalitarianism, fascism, okay, and communism, these are much older than the capitalist system. I take that back. Socialism didn't come into effect until 1925 in Russia. But the others, they want to put us into a socialist system, have been around since the beginning of time when we started calculating. We'll go back to 1 AD. Socialist governments have been in control, and people, if you study your history, have been slaves to the government. For all of you Christians and Jews out there, just go read your Old Testament or the Torah, and it'll tell you what kind of leaders they were and how they demoralized the people at the time. Understand that. Why do you think, ladies and gentlemen, there's such a fight not to have socialism in this country? And socialism, like I said, is government ownership of everything. And it's a collective goal. It's not an individual goal. Okay? And the other is high. There's no competition. It's low competition. Why? Because the government says, all right, you're going to work here, you're going to work here, you're going to do this, you're going to do that. There's no competition. And this is the only thing that you can do. You can't rise up. No competition. Why even go to work? Which they'll support programs to keep you out of work. Shared wealth for all. Well, if you can't work, we're going to pay you anyway. If you don't want to work, according to AOC, if you don't want to work, we'll pay you anyway. And there may not be taxes because everything that the government gets is the profit of the businesses. But here's the problem with this. Okay, first we look at Venezuela. Venezuela is the richest country in South America. Look at it today. Their people are eating out of trash cans. It's like $125 for a roll of toilet paper. Their democracy has fallen to socialism, and the government controls everything. And look at what's happening in the country. We don't want that here. No way. That's what socialism is about. When you get a greedy political party wanting to take everything away from the people, as in Venezuela. Now, what about the rich here in America? The rich are supporting socialism. Why? Because they'll keep their money. You will not. They'll keep their properties. You will not. They will keep their businesses. You will not. Why? Because they support the socialist agenda. And you really have to think about the elites from the left. You got to go back to McCarthyism. And during McCarthyism, he came out and he tried to show how the Communist Party infiltrated Hollywood and were doing movies to get you to believe that the communist way was a better way. That communism was spreading throughout this country to destroy the American way. Why did he do that? Well, if anybody knows anything about history, after World War II, Patton told the president of Russia, I told the president, let's come in and kick your butt and wipe out communism altogether. And he said no. And the president turned to him and said, we will not conquer you by war. We will conquer you from within. How do you do it? Infiltrate the government. You have a dumbed down society. Make your kids stupid so that the government can come along and say, don't worry, we'll take care of you. You have a media that spreads nothing but propaganda and hatred against everything other than the communist way, or in America's situation, the socialist way. And you have groups like the American Atheist Organization, the American, National Organization of Women, the Gay and Lesbian Organization, LGBTQ, all attacking the moral codes of the family and the moral codes of God. Because there is no God to socialism. There is no God to communism. As Nancy Pelosi said, if you don't believe in abortion, you shouldn't be a Democrat. Do you believe that? And I just heard her say, I'm praying for the president. Yet when the Patriot Prayer Group wanted to pray in one of the parks of San Francisco, she was hoping that the park police would not allow them the permit because she did not want to, you ready for this? Allow them to spread vile speech. Prayer to her is vile speech. She approves of abortion. She's looking to impeach a president who legally won the presidency because 30 members are hollering for the impeachment of the president. She has no control over the Democratic Party in the House of Representatives. She is a puppet trying to figure out what lines to say in order to appease all of the people, and she can't because there's two divided camps. She's lost control of the Democrats in Congress. She should go. She should be impeached. She should be kicked out. They should vote her out of office because she is incompetent. Now, under socialism, there's open borders. There's no borders under socialism. Everybody can come into the country. Okay? And that's what Nancy Pelosi wants. Oh, all we have to do is cut the grass. They'll stop coming in? No, they're not. It'll be easier for them to walk across the border. So, what is this? What kind? And think about that statement. Oh, let's just cut the grass. Where's Nancy's head at? She's gearing towards socialism. She wants socialism in this country. She should never have won the speakership a second time. Someone should have stood up and fought against her. But they're cowards in the Democratic leadership of this country. They are cowards. They're cowering to the socialists. They're cowering to the liberals in California. They're cowering to the anti-Semitic group that are out there preaching the hatred for Jews. They're cowering to the people who hate white people in this country, even though it was the white people in this country that took in black slaves, and this white people country grew better than any other country before. Let's hate those people who did that to us. Let's hate those people who made us the greatest nation in the world. Let's tear down their statues. Let's get them off of our money. Let's get them off of our buildings. Let's do everything we can to destroy the white people who made America great until the black population started to work with us and help us continue to make it great. It wasn't white people who won the war. It was Americans, black and white, who won World War II. The greatest nation in the world, the greatest population in the world, the greatest generation. They helped us win to keep a capitalist system. And when they came back, they worked hard and diligently to build this under capitalism. Individual goals, high competition, and individual wealth, all working to make America great again after the Depression of 1928. Understand this, people. This is what the Democratic leadership hate about the American people. And once socialism comes into this country, do you really think all these manufacturing jobs are going to stay here in America? No, no way. Because they're not going to give up their profits to the government. They're going to ship their businesses overseas and keep their profits. So not only are there not going to be enough jobs, we'll lose jobs. Right now, we have an abundance of jobs and no people to fill them. Why is that? Well, simply because we have dumbed down our society to where they don't have the intelligence to fill the jobs. And like Nancy Pelosi and Chuck Schumer are saying, open the border and let the immigrants come in who have high school and no college, high school and no education at all to fill the jobs that can't be filled by our own people because they don't have the education. So 20 million illegals coming into this country without an education are going to fill the jobs? I don't think so. I really don't. And when they take our jobs and put them overseas again, guess what's going to happen? We're going to have all those American people. And where's the money coming from that's going to take Americans and illegals and help them when they can't find jobs? Well, who's going to pay for it? Oh, that's right. Government ownership of all of the corporations is going to redistribute the wealth so that everybody has something. And while millions of people are sitting on their lazy butt because they don't have the education to do the job, all those hardworking people are not going to be able to get ahead in life because Uncle Sam or the socialist government of America will keep them suppressed. You want that? Do you want that for America? Do you really want socialism? What you need to do is you need to contact your representatives, in Congress and say it's time for Nancy Pelosi to go. It's time for Adam Schiff to go. That's another clown. He sits there and says, I have proof, I have proof. For 2 years we've heard he has proof of collusion, and yet it's never come out. He has no proof. And it's time for him to go. It's time to take these socialists out of California and get rid of them and say, no more. We're not having it. Look at California in itself. It's being destroyed by socialism. And the only way it's able to keep its head a little bit above water is because of the money that it gets from the federal government. I say the federal government should shut off all funding. It should put the FBI, the CIA, the INS, all of those alphabet businesses out of California and stop giving the government out their money. Stop. They want money because the forest burnt down. No, you were stupid enough to let it burn down. You take care of it. You see, people? They're living off of you because they don't want to make any more money. And the rich, well, the rich are keeping it all for themselves. And the middle class are moving out to the rest of the country. So, yeah, use California, use Venezuela as products of socialism. New York, Governor Cuomo passed a bill that says even if the baby's born, you can still abort it. These are sick and demented leaders of the Democratic Party who care nothing about a moral and an ethical code, who care nothing about life and justice in this world. If they cared about justice, they would not have put a young sailor who took a picture of a classified piece of equipment in jail while allowing Hillary Clinton to walk free. Think about that. Ladies and gentlemen, it's Bruce Konechny. Thanks for listening to One Man's Voice. God bless, and have a great Memorial Day.